When scientists stop seeing an animal and only fossils remain, it's declared extinct. But since there are still parts of Earth we haven't fully explored, the question is, could some of them still be out there? This is part 2 of this series, so let's get started. Zanzibar leopard. On Unguja Island, part of Zanzibar off the coast of Tanzania, there once lived a unique subspecies known as the Zanzibar leopard. For thousands of years, it ruled the island as the apex predator. Then things turned dark. Local beliefs began spreading that these leopards were controlled by witches or brought bad luck. Fear grew. Superstition turned violent. A large hunting campaign began to wipe them out. Even the island's government supported the mass killings. By the 1990s, the Zanzibar leopard was declared extinct. But in 2018, during filming for the Animal Planet documentary Extinct or Alive, a camera trap captured footage of what appeared to be a Zanzibar leopard. That was huge. Some authorities questioned the authenticity of the footage, but wildlife biologist Forrest Galante, who led the expedition, has strongly defended the discovery. He has continued raising awareness about supposedly extinct species through his work. If that leopard was real, then the extinction label might have been premature. Number 2. Great auk. First of all, don't confuse it with a penguin. Penguins live in the southern hemisphere. The great auk lived in the North Atlantic. The only thing they really shared was the black and white look and the fact that neither could fly. That's about it. The great auk once had a huge range and a strong population. In fact, prehistoric humans like the Neanderthals relied on them as a major food source. But Neanderthals didn't wipe them out. The real decline began in the 1500s when European sailors and fishermen started hunting them in massive numbers. They were easy to catch, they nested in tight colonies, and they couldn't fly, so thousands were killed for meat, oil, and feathers. The final tragedy happened on June 3, 1844. On a small Icelandic island called Eldey, the last known breeding pair of great auks was killed by hunters. That was it, the final confirmed chapter. Since then, no official sightings, but unofficial claims suggest they may have survived longer than we think. And remember, there are still large, harsh islands in the North Atlantic that humans barely explore because of extreme weather. If a small group managed to hide in some remote cave or cliffside colony, would that really be impossible? Archaeoindris. Around 90 million years ago, Madagascar split from India and became isolated from the rest of the world. That isolation led to wildlife found nowhere else on Earth. Lemurs are one of those groups. They are distant relatives of monkeys and humans, and most live in Madagascar's forests. Today's lemurs are relatively small, but thousands of years ago, one species stood out: Archaeoindris. Archaeoindris was about the size of a gorilla, weighing up to 350 pounds or more, heavy-bodied and powerful. Like most lemurs, it was mainly herbivorous, feeding on leaves and plants. Archaeoindris is believed to have gone extinct around 350 BCE, shortly after humans arrived on Madagascar. Around the same time, sections of the Great Wall of China were being built and Buddhism was spreading in parts of Asia. Could a giant lemur like Archaeoindris still exist? Some believe it is possible. If early humans hunted them, small populations may have moved into remote areas, such as the Chingi de Bemaraha region, which is still difficult to explore. Over the years, there have been occasional reports from Madagascar describing large primate-like animals that do not match any known living lemur species, and this would not be the first rediscovery. The greater bamboo lemur was once believed extinct until it was rediscovered in 1986, so it would not be impossible for history to repeat itself. Giant snakes. Everyone knows that in prehistoric times, snakes were on another level. In India's Gujarat state, fossils revealed Vasuki indicus, one of the largest snakes ever discovered. Its estimated size stretched as long as multiple cars lined up together. Then there's Titanoboa, which lived around 58 million years ago in what is now South America. It could grow over 40 feet long and weighed more than a ton. Fossil evidence places Vasuki around 47 million years ago and Titanoboa even earlier. Officially, they're long gone, but could giant snakes still exist today? Consider this. Vast rainforests like the Amazon, the Congo Basin, and parts of New Guinea remain largely unexplored. Deep rivers, thick canopy, limited access. If something enormous wanted to stay hidden, that's where it would do it. In 2024, scientists even identified a new species called the northern green anaconda, reaching impressive lengths. That alone shows we're still discovering major predators. One of the most talked about pieces of evidence comes from a photo purportedly taken by a World War II pilot flying over the Congo rainforest. The image shows what looks like a massive snake stretched across a clearing. Some rough measurements using satellite maps have led people to claim it could be far larger than any known snake today. Whether that photo is real or misinterpreted, one thing is certain: over 90% of parts of the Congo rainforest remain poorly studied, and until they're fully explored, the door stays slightly open.